Well, the new jobs report came out today. The White House, it was not as good as expected. 126,000 jobs added, 5.5%. Unemployment rate stays the same. The other numbers that we often look at, underemployment, it's down from 11%, 10.9% now, but 8,575,000 people still unemployed. And this is really interesting. The labor participation chart currently at 62.7%. That is not a good number. We're going to start there in the lightning round. We're back with the panel. Charles.
Look, you can look for complicated explanations. The obvious one is this is the weakest recovery since the Second World War. When you grow at 2%, you are not going to get an improvement in the employment situation. And it looks as if the growth in the first quarter of the year is going to be 1% or less. Thus, you get really lousy employment numbers.
The White House has all kinds of explanations, weather, all kinds of stuff, but yeah, it's just not.
It snowed in winter. What a shock.
I think this is basically just a big flashing yellow light for people who have been really excited about some of the really strong jobs reports that we have seen, that this is a recovery that is still very much in process. And I think that the next few job reports are going to be very crucial to determining whether this is a blip or whether this is actually where the economy is.
126,000 jobs is about the number you need to absorb the natural monthly growth rate of the labor force. Second, if the workforce participation rate today were what it was when Barack Obama was inaugurated, unemployment rate would be 9.7%. Third, if we had had the average post-war recovery, there would be 14 million more Americans working today than there actually are.
It's all about the numbers, and at that, we are heading to the Canada Casino. We're just doing the Republicans today in the Canada Casino, and we wanted to point out right before we start that a viewer, Dylan, tweeted out today that he was spotting some different places. If you're planning to visit Special Report Canada Casino tonight, be sure to arrive early. Large crowds expected, and there you can see he's got the casino all set. So we enter. George, Republicans, where's your money?
$35 on Scott Walker because he appeals to more than one faction, and one faction cannot nominate a Republican candidate. Jeb Bush, $30 because attention is now beginning to be paid to his extraordinarily conservative record as governor. $10 on Rand Paul because he may get a slingshot effect out of the early primaries, particularly Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada. $5 on Cruz because he's raising a lot of money from small donors and had a good rollout. And I'm thinking outside the box here. I think the electorate might want the country run by something that itself is run well, and it would be nice to be run by Southwest Airlines, where they are competent and cheerful.
How about that? You're not angling for some tickets, are you? Okay, Julie.
So I've got 40 on Bush. I've been pretty consistent there. I think he's got a lot of structural advantages. 25 on Rubio. His rollout is coming up soon. I think Rubio is one of these candidates that has the potential to really catch some fire here. 20 on Walker. Some of the magic has faded there, the early magic, but I think he still has a chance. 10 on Cruz for the same reason that George said. Really impressive early fundraising numbers from grassroots. And 5 on Paul, who we're going to see his rollout coming up next, and I think he's going to get a bit of buzz, some momentum off that.
Charles, welcome back.
Thank you. Well, my top tier remains unchanged. It's Rubio, Bush, and Walker. And I'm taking the radical step of taking the $10 that I normally allocate to my retirement fund, and I'm going to put half of it on Ted Cruz. Anybody who can raise the $4 million in 8 days becomes the leading long shot.
All right, quickly, winners and losers down the line. Lightning round.
The Iranian foreign minister.
Winner.
This is the winner. He's the happiest man on the planet, and he received a Charles Lindbergh reception upon his return home. Loser, Indiana governor Mike Pence. Whatever the rights or wrongs, whatever the virtues of the bill that he originally passed, his clumsy handling of it has cost him any chance of entering, apart from winning, the Republican nomination in 2016.
Julie, winners and losers.
I do mind with the caveat that this could be completely reversed in a couple of months. My winner is John Kerry, who has managed to keep his dream of an Iranian nuclear deal alive. And my loser is Bibi Netanyahu, who campaigned tirelessly to try to disrupt this deal. And obviously the negotiations will move forward.
Not over yet on that one. Yeah, as you said, George.
Winner Lois Lerner, because she rightly understood that Holder's Justice Department would collaborate in her obstruction of justice. The loser is the state of California, which now has water rationing because for decades the political class, particularly environmentalists, have refused to build an adequate water infrastructure, and the political class will not allow water to be allocated by the market, pricing it as a commodity, which it is.
Panel, we got it all in. Thank you. That's it for the panel, but stay tuned for a possible new lead in the Bob Menendez case.